Today, we're diving into a field that could completely change how you see the entire living world. Seriously. It's called biosemiotics, and it suggests there's a language all around us. A language we've just forgotten how to hear. So, let's get into it. But first, let's start with a feeling. Does the world today sometimes just feel broken? It's this deep sense of unease that so many of us share, right? This era feels marked by, ecological decay, this constant anxiety, and this feeling that our very systems of meaning are just fracturing. We feel so disconnected from nature, from our communities, and honestly, a lot of the time, even from ourselves. And we feel anxious, trying to navigate a world of just constant noise and information overload. It feels like everything is accelerating way beyond our ability to keep up. Yeah, it's exhausting. And look, these aren't just separate problems. They're all symptoms of what some people are calling a meta-crisis, a deep, fundamental crisis of meaning. But what if there's a way to understand its root cause and maybe even start to heal it? And that brings us right to the heart of what we're talking about today, this incredible field that suggests life itself has a language and we've simply forgotten how to listen. Welcome to the world of biosemiotics. So what is it exactly? Well, biosemiotics is basically the study of signs and meaning making. The technical term is semiosis, across all of life. It proposes that communication isn't just something humans do. Oh, no. In fact, it's fundamental to every single living system, from the tiniest bacteria to the biggest forest. This really gets to the core of it, summed up perfectly in this quote by one of the field's pioneers, Thomas Saviuk. Life is semiosis. What does that mean? It means life isn't just a bunch of genes and molecules bumping into each other. It's driven by interpretation, by symbolic exchange. To be alive is to communicate. This leads to a truly mind-bending concept from a biologist named Jakob von Uskul, the Umwelt. It's the idea that every organism lives in its own subjective perceptual world. A tick, for instance, doesn't experience a forest the way we do, not even close. Its entire world, its Umwelt, is filtered down to just the signs that matter to it, the warmth of a mammal, the smell of a specific acid on the skin. This idea completely shatters the myth of a single objective reality and shows us that every creature is its own center of meaning. Okay, so how does this idea actually play out in the real world? This isn't just some abstract theory. The great conversation of life is happening all around us, right now. We just have to know where to look, or I should say, where to listen. And the evidence is just stunning. We see it in trees communicating through these vast underground fungal networks, in dolphins collaborating with fishermen, in birds using a complex language of alarm calls that other species totally understand, and even in tiny little fish listening for the specific sounds of a healthy home. The Earth is absolutely buzzing with dialogue. Let's just zoom in on that wood wide web for a second, because it's amazing. When a tree gets attacked by pests, it doesn't just sit there and take it. No, it releases chemical signals into this fungal network in the soil, sending out a warning to its neighbors. And then, those neighbors get the message and start boosting their own defenses before the pests even arrive. You see? A forest isn't just a collection of trees, it's a communicative, cooperative system. It's incredible. Or get this amazing example from Brazil. For generations, bottlenose dolphins and local fishermen have worked together. The dolphins literally drive schools of fish towards the shore where the fishermen are waiting with their nets. And then, the dolphins signal with specific tail slaps to tell them exactly when and where to cast. It's a sophisticated partnership built on a shared language of signs and, get this, mutual trust. So if the entire planet is this symphony of communication, it really begs the question, why can't we hear it? Why does our modern world feel so quiet, so inert? Well, this next part is about what we might call the great silencing. What's really fascinating here is how this slide just lays out these two completely conflicting worldviews. The dominant scientific paradigm for a long time has been reductionism, seeing life as a complex machine that you just break down into its parts. Organisms are just machines responding to stimuli. But biosemiotics offers a totally different paradigm, a communicative one. Organisms are active agents interpreting signs within a world of meaning. It's a huge shift from seeing life as just a biochemical process to seeing it as a semiotic one. And the consequence of that machine worldview is a concept called semioside. It's such a powerful and tragic term. It's not just about killing organisms or ecosystems. It's the intentional or unintentional destruction of meaning itself. It's the silencing of life's conversations. And you can actually see this process unfolding all around us. First, human activity introduces massive interference. Things like chemical pollutants that mimic hormones, artificial light that messes up migration, ship noise that just drowns out whale songs. Second, all these disruptions block the natural signals that organisms depend on. Communication starts to fail. And because ecosystems are literally built on this communication, the entire web of meaning begins to unravel, leading to total collapse. But this isn't about despair. It's really about a new beginning. Because if we've learned how to go deaf, then we can also learn how to listen again. So let's look at some pathways for healing and for action. And these are real things we can all do. We can practice stuff like Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, which is less about hiking and more about having a sensory, semiotic dialogue with the forest. We can get involved in community projects that restore both the land and our shared sense of purpose. We can practice mindfulness to tune in to the signs our own bodies are constantly sending us. And we can support art and storytelling because they're basically the semiotic immune system of our culture, helping us create and renew meaning. Ultimately, this is all about a fundamental shift in our relationship with the living world. We need to move away from an ethic of control and toward one of communion. We have to stop asking only what life is made of and start asking what it's trying to say. And so that leaves us with a final, very personal question. If you quiet all the noise, if you really, truly pay attention to the wind, to the birds, to the feelings in your own body, what is the world trying to tell you? The conversation is always happening. It's time we started listening again.